leadership behavior and motivation and contingency leadership. Yesterday's class, we have discussed about leadership behavior and styles. Then University of Michigan, Ohio State and Iowa University's research based on the styles we have listed already in the previous class. Then as an important concept from leadership grid we have discussed with the 5 leadership style in that. Ranging from the points, whichever it is given, 9 to 9 as the highest and 1 to 1 as very least point, and middle of the road it is a 5 and 5. So based on that 81 combination of the leadership styles it has been discussed already. So that is for the concept leadership grid or maybe the managerial grid. So this is for the concept we have discussed in the previous class. Now for today it is, we will see about leadership and major motivation theory. Whether slide is visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So leadership and major motivation theories here we have to discuss now. We are going to discuss many theories under this what concept as a types of or classification of leadership based on a motivation and leadership. What's the relation now? So before starting with the major theory to discuss, we will see what is motivation and leadership. Now motivation is anything that affects behavior in pursuing a certain outcome. So whatever it is, any work or any task or a job to be completed or to be fulfilled, there should be an internal motivation should be required from everyone. So that is the motivation here. The ability to motivate yourself and others is a critical to your success as a leader. So as a leader here, he has to perform or he should have the ability to motivate first himself and then others, which is very critical to his success, because it is not only if he motivates himself, it is not sufficient. He has to motivate his followers also to accomplish a particular task or a job. So this is what motivation and leadership now. Now what is the motivation process here, how it undergoes the process. The process, it will start through the motivation process. Like through the motivation process, people go from need. So need will be the first step in the motivation. Then it comes a motive, then to behavior, then to consequences, to satisfaction or dissatisfaction. So this is a simple one. Motivation process we can see now. First it starts with the need. So for any aspect you have to find out what is your present need. If you feel thirsty, you will require what? Water, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Similarly, if you feel hungry, it is you prefer that something food to be served. So that is the need. So need to be identified first. Then something motive should generate from you, like what kind of internal what, something urge to get the particular product or maybe any of the food or maybe water what we have mentioned as an example. That motive or internal feeling should be required. Then you have to show a behavior here. Behavior maybe if you drink a water or if you have a food, so that will be your behavior, and what is the consequences of that. So if you drink, whether it will be, if you feel that okay, this is the product or maybe whatever I have got, or in the form of either water or a food, whether it is a satisfactory to me or not. So there is a satisfaction or dissatisfaction again based on the particular simple process called motivation process. Meanwhile, the feedback will also be get, and there will be, if you are satisfied or even dissatisfied, again the next need will anyhow generate, because it is not only a matter of your thirst or maybe hungriness all this. So it may be any of the job requirements also. If you feel any of the salary when it is provided, okay, again you feel that something promotion should be required or maybe something increments can be done. So all this, it will be your additional what, the motivation what it is required for you to get the get something from the organization. So that is how here it is not an end, it is a continuous process. Again, when you get the feedback about your satisfaction and dissatisfaction, again the next need will generate here. So that is called a complete process. Hope you are getting.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So
Yes,
this is the
ma'am.
one. Yes, good. And next, it is a basic introduction now based on the leadership and motivation theory. So that is, we'll go to the next class now. This is the main aspect we will be going to discuss under this classification of motivation theory. So broadly, it has been classified as 3 categories here. So content motivation theories, process motivation theories, and reinforcement theory. So under content motivation theory, it is, we have 3 categories. Again, there is a hierarchy of needs theory, two-factor theory, and acquired needs theory. And again, process motivation, if you take, it is a equity theory, expectancy theory, and goal setting theory. So these are many things to be discussed. For this class, we will only discuss the first one, that is a content motivation theories with its 3 subtypes under which comes under that. So that will be going to discuss one by one. So that is the first one. Now content motivation theory, we will see what it is. So content motivation, it focuses on explaining and predicting behavior based on people's need. So here how people will be going to analyze based on their behavior based on the people's need. The primary reason people do what they do is to meet their needs or wants to be satisfied. So what people expect as from a content, like what is the content here, or what is the need that they expect, what they expect, or whether it is giving satisfaction to them or not. So people want job satisfaction, and they will leave one organization from another to meet their needs. So they will be finding here, if you are working in any organization, so if you are satisfied, then okay, you will be continuing with the job. But if you feel that something is not good, like maybe salary is not satisfactory, or maybe working condition is not good, so all this will be making you to search some other organization for your job. An employee who has job satisfaction usually has a high level of motivation and is more productive than a dissatisfied employee. So if you have a high satisfaction, usually when you feel that your organization is providing everything to you, so your need has been got satisfied, or maybe you have accomplished what you wanted in a job. So that is how you will be called as a satisfied employee. So you will be more productive than the dissatisfied employee. So according to the content theories here, if you want to have satisfied employees, you must meet their needs. So what, as a leader here, he has to understand. So he should make an attempt here to satisfy each and everyone in the organization. Like majority, he has to concentrate whether the employees are satisfied or not, their needs have been met or not. Then only he can make them to work towards the organizational goal, as well as he can achieve the organization's role. So that is the one thing. So as a hierarchy needs, as we have already discussed under content theory here, we'll be having 3 things. There's a hierarchy of need theory, two-factor theory, and acquired need theory. So this will be discussed now one by one. First, under the content theory, hierarchy of need theory. I think this we have studied already. We know this, like the Maslow's need hierarchy theory, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, we have studied already. Just we will go through when it has come to the as a contribution here. In the 1940s, Abraham Maslow developed this hierarchy of need theory, which is based on 4 assumptions he has built here. For explaining this theory, we have to assume something that is in the form of first one, only unmet needs motivate. So if anything need, now maybe if you have a requirement of the laptop or maybe the mobile, then only that is an unmet need, because you want something to be satisfied by giving the product or anything. So that is the only unmet needs will motivate you rather than the needs which you have already met. Because if you have sufficient, like if you have a good laptop, you don't want that to be again purchased. So that is how your need is. If at all, if you have a requirement of any products, then only that will makes you to go with purchasing it. So that is the one assumption we have to assume here. The unmet need only motivates the employees. Second, as people's needs are arranged in order of importance, there is a hierarchy. So based on hierarchical level, we know that hierarchy in the pyramidal shape, how the Maslow has done the what divisions based on a 5 needs here. We'll be going to discuss in the next slide. So that is the second assumption he has mentioned. People's needs are in an arranged order. going from basic to complex. Now, basic need what he wants from a food or shelter, and then it comes to the final as self-actualization stage. So that is what basic to complex. Third one, as people will not be motivated to satisfy at a higher level needs. So unless the lower level needs have been met at least with its minimally satisfied or stage. So that is how people will not go for directly to the final stage or maybe the end stage of or a higher level of the need. They will see that first whether their basic needs have been met or not. So that is based why they will be going. That is the third assumption what he has mentioned. And finally, as Maslow assumed that people have 5 classification of needs. So there is a 5 classification here. We know already that is a hierarchy of needs, physiological needs and safety needs, belongingness or social needs, then esteem needs and self-actualization needs. So this is the classification what he has done under this. So I'll show you based on this. Now, notes whatever I have mailed already in that diagram, it is there. We can go through this. Okay, leadership and major motivational theories. The same thing what we have discussed here, there already. Okay, content motivation theories. See here, if you go with the major classification, I have whatever listed in the PPT. This is from same like content. There are again 3 types. It is visible whether PDF.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so first one as a content motivation, then process related, then reinforcement. 3 aspects to be discussed. So hierarchy of needs we are discussing now. In that C, physiological needs. That is, we know already the need. We have discussed this. As a leader here, he has to understand whether the employees have met all these what needs based on the hierarchy, whatever it is mentioned by Abraham Maslow. So this is the first one, physiological needs here based on your basic needs like air, food, shelter, and sex, and maybe the relief or maybe avoidance of pain. All this it will be a basic which as an employee what he expects. So that is to be satisfied. Second, as safety needs. Once the physiological needs are met, then individual comes to the next step, that is safety and security. He feels that there should be a job security or maybe his home security. So all this it will be required. So third one is belongingness or maybe social. So once he feels that he has all the basic needs, he has all the safety related aspects, then he prefers something relationship like his friendship or a friends group, colleagues group, or maybe the affection, love. All this he expects from this social needs. So once he's what comfortable with that, if he's having a strong what friendship group or maybe his family background, all this, we will be going with the esteem needs. He feels that something to be focused on his ego or maybe status or self-respect, his recognition, accomplishment, and feeling one's confidence and prestige. So he expects all this prestige should be required. He wants to purchase a what a luxury cars or maybe luxury items. All this to be the intention of recognition, to get the recognition from society as well as from the organization. So that is what he expects. Finally, as self-actualization needs. This is the highest level of needs to develop one's full potential, to like growth, achievement, and advancement. Like in a life, he feels that I have achieved everything. Like financially wise, I am very sound and I can contribute to the donation or maybe any of the charity fund. All this what he expects. So this is what the final from basic to the higher level of needs what he expects. So that is how what the leader has to do here. He has to understand there is a concept called hierarchy of need in the organization, and it will be applicable to the employees also. Individual employees, they will undergo these kind of needs in their life, daily life. So he has to concentrate whether it will be satisfied or not. So that will be discussed here. So this is the one concept that leader has to understand. So that is the one thing under content thing. Now if you go with the still more, here is the hierarchy of this one, need, it has been given with the example. Now, physiological needs people in the form of what they expect in the employment, that is adequate salary, breaks, and working condition. This is the basic what they expect from the organization. Safety wise, if you take, they expect that something salary increment should be there, or maybe safety working condition should be there, fringe benefit or a medical insurance, sick benefit, all this, or job securities, all this can be given in the safety. Now, social needs, it is they expect that something parties, trips, then picnics, then sport teams, or maybe any recreational activities, what they makes them to be what belong, or maybe to form a group in the organization, informal group. So that is a social needs will be followed. Then esteem needs, like organizations, again they have to concentrate on merit pay, or maybe raises in the pay, or maybe recognition to be given, challenging tasks to be given to the employees, and decision making and their change for advancement. All this will be concentrated. Next as self-actualization need. So here finally they expect that something to be creative, achievement and promotion, ability to have complete control over their jobs. In the sense, they will be in a very good position in the organization. They are dealing with many employees and they will be in the top position. So that is what they expect. So this is what the hierarchy of need theory, based on the employees individually, they will be going to apply this concept. And as a leader here, he has to understand again, so each employees will be having these kind of different needs to be get satisfied in their life, and he has to understand and he has to deal with the employees. Hope you are getting. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay, so one aspect it is under content leadership we have discussed. Now it is related to the okay, second under the content leadership theory, it is two-factor theory. So two-factor theory, it has come to the existence in the year 1960s. So Frederick Herzberg, he has published his two-factor theory. So he has contributed it to the management. Then Herzberg combined here, it has a similarity with the Maslow's theory, because he has given the name here, lower level needs into one classification he has done. So he has called it as a hygiene or maintenance factors. So given a classification from lower level, like physiological needs, social needs, all this he has given the name as the maintenance or a hygiene. And higher level needs like self-actualization, all these things he has given the name as motivators, like advancement in the work, recognition. So two classification he has done here. So he proposes that people are motivated by motivators rather than the maintenance, because maintenance or hygiene factors anyhow it will be there in the organization. They expect that something to get motivate, they have to get some other benefits. So that is how we can classify. Now we can see a classification here based on the two aspects. One he has classified as maintenance, that is the extrinsic factors which is related to the lower level needs to be satisfied, like pay, your salary, like job security, title of the job, your designation, and working conditions, fringe benefits, relationship. All these the employees expect here. This will be giving a maintenance factors to them. Then motivators here, so intrinsic factors, so which is related to the higher level needs, like they expect that there should be achievement, there should be recognition and challenge, and advancement should be required in the job. So this is what he has broadly classified here, maintenance and extrinsic factors. So this is the second one we can see here. Based on the this one PDF now, the explanation, or maybe here some assessments also there. If you're free, you can go through the assessments. They have given self-assessment to see. Now see here, two-factor theory as a motivation theory they have mentioned. They have given the name instead of here satisfied, dissatisfied. They have given dissatisfied and not dissatisfied as the extremes. One more for a motivators, they have given satisfied and not satisfied. So two extremes they have given for as a two-factor theory here. Herzberg, he has classified like this. So based on maintenance factor here, already we have discussed. So in extrinsic factor, you can go with physiological, safety and social needs of what Maslow has identified from below 3 levels, like physiological, safety and social needs. It comes under the maintenance factors. He has categorized as a lower level needs. So motivators he has classified as esteem or self-actualization needs. That is under recognition, achievement, increased responsibility, growth, and advancement. So all these factor, it has been one, it is from a maintenance factor wise, one it is from a your job motivators. So that is what this two factor Herzberg has classified this. So this is the one aspect. Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so money as a motivator here. So factor, what the Herzberg is mentioning here, money as a one of the factors. So it can also be act as one of the factors for a follower. So as a leader here, he has to understand again how this two-factor theory will be having a contribution over the employees. Like he has to understand employees again, they will be more focused on here motivator factors rather than the maintenance. But he has to concentrate and he has to see that whether the employees are getting this benefit or not, getting all these benefit in the form of their the satisfaction, or whether they are satisfied or not, that need to be understand. So that is the second theory here. Okay, so this is about the two-factor theory under the content leadership theory as a first category. Now, third, when it takes, that's the third one, acquired needs theory. So this is a third under content theory based on a need-related theory they have classified. So what it says, it proposes that people are motivated by their need for achievement, power, and affiliation. So this is essentially the same definition we have discussed in our regular class, achievement motivation theory, right? In the unit second, we have discussed the achievement motivation theory already. So this is a similar definition. It is given to the acquired needs theory. So here we have to discuss based on the what is achievement, or maybe what is power, what is affiliation. So this is the same definition as for achievement motivation theory itself. Now, acquired need theory says that all people have the need for achievement, power, and affiliation, but to a varying degrees. So they will be every employees or maybe followers here, they expect that there should be a need for their achievement, need for power, and affiliation. We'll see how, on which basis it is. Here now acquired theory. So they have mentioned as here three aspects. So motivating the employees based on the power, then achievement, then affiliation. Now first as motivating employees with the high need for achievement as a first one. What it can be done now, like to give a achievement maybe as a need. So you can, as a leader, you can give them non-routine tasks, like challenging tasks you can give with the clear attainable objective, so that he will feel that something he can achieve in the organization instead of doing with the same the task which he feels that sometimes it will be boring. So that is how non-routine tasks will be assigned to him. So give them fast and frequent feedback on their performance. So give them fast feedback, like how he is performing in the organization, whether he has achieved something. So all you can give them, and continually give them increased responsibility for doing the new thing. So he expects that something when you achieve, or achievements can be what you find when you will be given with some new task, or maybe some innovative task. So that will be given. So keep out of their way. So this is what he can manage here by motivating the employees with a high need for their achievement. So second as motivating employees with a high need for power. So power, it is let them plan and control their jobs as much as possible. Try to include them in decision making. So power, when the employer or follower, when he expects that I have given with the power, only when leader is exercising a leadership style as democratic. Like maybe he's giving employees the opportunity or to speak in the decision making. So that is how here to ensure that they have given with a high power. So you can include them in the decision making process, especially when they are affected by the decision. So they tend to perform best alone rather than as a team member. So try to assign them to a whole task rather than just part of the task. So this is how you can give them, like to give a something assurance that is you have given with the power, you can take a decision, or you can suggest something to take a decision here, or maybe related to the task it can be given some authority to him. So that is the power will be, need for a power will be satisfied. Next, as motivating employees with high need for affiliation. So affiliation is something related to the belongingness again. So be sure to let them work as a part of a team. So they feel that something the team should be required. So in a team, you can achieve more rather than individual. The feeling should come in them. So that is how motivate them to work in the team. With the high need for their affiliation will be satisfied. So they derive satisfaction from the people they work with rather than the task itself. So give them lots of praise and recognition, what they expect. So give them recognition, praise, or delegate the responsibility for orienting and training new employees to them. So they make great buddies and mentors. So that is how give them something that they feel that affiliation related needs to be satisfied, like to form a team, then they can get some recognition in a team if the team has performed a good task. So all this it can be achieved. So this is for the first category of the need, that is a theory for this class. So that is the concepts, the leadership and major motivation theories, what we have discussed. The motivation and leadership, as what is the relation, what is the motivation as a meaning here. So anything that which affects your behavior in pursuing something output. So yeah, inner feeling towards any of the task. As a leader here, it is a critical job for him to identify so his motivation as well as the others' motivation. So that matters here as a leadership. The motivation process here we have discussed with the need. It starts from a need, then it starts some internal motive for your behavior to happen, then the consequences or maybe effect of that to be find out either to satisfied or dissatisfied. So this is the introduction to that particular theories. Now classification has been done based on a 3 categories: content, motivation, process and reinforcement. For this class we have discussed only the first half, that is the content motivation theory. So it is related to your needs. So need will be considered as a basic here for explaining a theory. So hierarchy of needs we have discussed, which has been given by Abraham Maslow in the year 1940s. So with the assumptions what he has framed this leadership theory. So all these unmet needs to be motivated first, and people needs are arranged according to the hierarchical order. Then people will not be get motivated if their needs have been not met. Then you have a classification here based on physiological needs, safety needs, belongingness or social needs, esteem needs, and self-actualization needs. Then we have discussed about 2-factor theories, which comes under the content theory itself. So it has been given in the year 1960s. So by Frederick Herzberg. So he has categorized here as a lower level needs from physiological needs, social needs, safety needs. These 3 needs of Maslow's he has categorized under the name as maintenance or hygiene factors. Then high level needs he has categorized as a motivator factor, which considers the Maslow's need as actualization and esteem needs. So this is the name. So here he has given the name for 2 factors here: maintenance factor and motivators. So maintenance factor related to already we have discussed about the basic phase, working conditions, relationship, fringe benefit, or maybe all this security related, and your designation also comes. Motivators here, it will be achievement, then recognition, challenge and advancement. So that can also be done. And finally, as under content theory, there is acquired need theories. So this is related to your achievement, power and affiliation need to be satisfied. So based on that, we have discussed how much the power need to be given, how much the achievement employees have to feel, and how much they have to be comfortable with the belongingness of their needs in the form of affiliation. So this is for the concept for this class.